Hey, what is up? The Preston 13 here. And we are going to unbox a set of Score trading cards, 2019 Paninis. This is my first one, my first setup here. I'm hoping you can hear me all right. Please feel free to leave some feedback in the chat. I thought I'd come on a couple minutes early and see if it's going all right, but I can not hear anything on my end. I'm not sure if that's by design or not. So, you can see in the background, I do have some prisms I'm going to open on my next one, or actually the next one's probably going to be the 2018 Rookie Star box I found. And then the prism and the Bowman's right here. Those will be a lot of fun. But I wanted to do the Score to start. A little bit of smaller brand. Not quite as popular, it seems. We'll give it a few minutes, see if anyone joins. Let's see. I know I got a couple people stopping by. I hope. And when I sent it out to Twitter, I put it in for 1:45. So we'll give it just one more minute here, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up on my phone, and yeah, it sounds like the audio is going through just fine. All right, so we had it scheduled for 1:45. We're going to get started here in just a minute. We'll open up this score. We'll get to some of the better stuff tomorrow. If this one goes all right, please leave some feedback in the chat there if you get a chance. I'd like to see how it looks and sounds. If you guys could give me some feedback. Looks like we got one person in here. All right, let's see. Look for 4 Blaster exclusive gold parallels per box on average. That doesn't necessarily mean we're guaranteed to get those. 132 NFL trading cards. And then if anyone's interested later on, hopefully that comes into focus. Let's get the plastic off and we'll see if that helps. Number 25 or less, that would be nice. That would be awful nice. Obviously, your big pulls would be Kyler Murray, rookies, some of the other guys at the top of the draft. It's really hard in football to tell what's going to happen. Got to give it a couple years, see how it pans out. Let's see here. Some kind of sticker. A security device, I think. Target doesn't want you leaving the store with their products. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there we go. So let's get started here. There we go. Don't want to be too forceful with it. All right, starting off with the Browns. That kind of seems relevant given all the talk about the Browns this offseason. Jarvis Landry, heck of a player, good career in Miami. Right behind him, J.J. Watt. You see the style of the card. We'll take a look real quick because I haven't really seen a score up close. So, kind of a standard throwback looking card. I kind of like it. It's simple. I got last year's stats on there. 81 receptions last year for 976 yards, 4 touchdowns. Over 5,000 yards in his career already. Scoop those up. I hope you can see all right. If you can't, if you're watching this later, not on the live stream, please feel free to leave some feedback as well. You can see the camera go in and out a little bit there. All right, J.J. Watt, Joe Mixon, Nelson Aguilar, Danny Amendola, Pierre Garçon, Devontae Freeman, and it looks like we got our first insert. There's a Matt Ryan throwback card. I'll scoot that up in the frame there a little bit. Nice and shiny. A little bit of information on the back about him. All right, that's a good looking card. We'll set that aside. Let me see what this looks like. We'll start a pile there. We'll get some inserts going there. Right behind him, another insert. Captain's card, DeAndre Hopkins. Incredible young talent for the Houston Texans. One of my favorite guys in the league to watch, no doubt about it. And then somewhere around here, I've got some plastics. If we get anything too good, we'll put it in there. Some of the inserts may end up getting plastic. Trayvon Mullen out of Clemson University. That's our first rookie card. Last year in Clemson, he had 31 tackles. 88 during his college career. Excellent. We'll make another pile for our rookies. We'll give a quick review at the end of what's going on. Antoine Wesley, another rookie. This guy's out of Texas Tech. 88 receptions last year for 1,400 yards. That's a heck of a good year right there. Rookie card's a little bit different than the standard. And then Devin Bush, first round pick. He ended up going to, I believe that's a kid the Steelers traded up for. Good looking cards. 80 tackles for Michigan last year, 5 sacks. Productive year for Mr. Bush. I thought they reached for him in the draft a little bit. I can't say that I was a huge fan of that pick. We're through our first pack there, and not bad. A couple decent inserts, 3 rookie cards, a J.J. Watt, regular card, but still J.J. Watt. All the kids like J.J. Watt. Let's see, and there's the guy that lines up on the other side of him, Jadeveon Clowney. Ryan Tannehill now going to, where'd he end up? Jacksonville or something? Mason Foster, DeMonte Kazee, Corey Littleton. Hope you guys can see all right. Daniel Hunter, he's a good player. And then Myles Garrett, and you can see the border is a different color. So this is, I don't know if Scorecard calls them their gold or just kind of a regular insert or maybe a parallel, gold parallel. But obviously one of the best young talents in the league right now. Last year he had 44 tackles. Already has 20 sacks in his first 2 seasons, 13 and a half of them last year, 3 forced fumbles. That's a phenomenal player. So we'll put that in the insert pile. Get one last good look at it there. If there's anything you like, don't like, feel free to put it in the chat box, and I'll do my best to address it. If there's anything you want to talk about, I'll try to keep my eye on it here. And then another throwback card. This one is Clay Matthews. Seems like that kid's been in the league for 30 years, doesn't it? Obviously, very good player. Getting a little older now. Ed Oliver, big-time defensive tackle out of Houston. Excellent. Excellent. I think that kid's got a bright future. Brett Rippon, Mark Rippon's, what is he, nephew, I believe, out of Boise State University. His his uncle rather had quite a career with Washington, if anyone's old enough to remember like me. 67% last year for 3,700 yards, 30 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He had a good college career. We'll see if it translates to the NFL. I've heard arguments both ways. Rock Ya-Sin, cornerback out of Temple. Projected first rounder. I think he fell, well, kind of a low projection in the first round, I think, but he fell to the second, if I remember correctly. Now, I'm getting older, and my memory is not what it used to be. So if I'm wrong about any of this, I do apologize. And then if I butcher any of these names, I apologize for that as well. Jarrett Stidham out of Auburn. He had a decent year last year. 60% completion, though. That's well, I guess he didn't have an incredible year, did he? Only 2,800 yards for 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Didn't catch a lot of Auburn last year, so don't know a lot about that kid. This is our second pack. Nothing phenomenal so far. Let's keep going. Uh-oh. I see one I'm going to like at the end there. Tyler Boyd, a Bengal to start the pack. 3rd or 4th year now with the team. Fairly productive, given he's not an overhyped player by any means. Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, absolute terror for defenses to face. This it would have been fun to see him play in Las Vegas. Kenyon Drake. I'm sorry, let me tilt these. I'll get these a little closer here. Kenyon Drake, Miami, Michael Bennett. And there he is, the Tom Brady. One of my good friends loves this guy, and I root for the Dolphins as my second team, and he has just been an absolute nightmare for 20 years. So, yeah, Tom Brady. Let's set him. We'll put him in the pile there. Josh Bynes, Blake Martinez. And we got a James Conner EXP. EPX? Epics. Ah, jeez. Yeah, there's a little I snuck in there. That is a good looking card. Being that I'm from Cincinnati, maybe it'd be better if it weren't the Steelers. And I got bad news coming behind them, it looks like. But a good looking card nonetheless. He had a very good year with Le'Veon Bell's absence last year. He did some good stuff for him. He got a little banged up at the end of the year. Hey, who do we got here? Mr. Michael Lippy's joined the chat room. Big shout out to him. Pull a Tom Brady, and I'll be happy. Well, there you go, Mr. Lippy. You can be one happy camper. There's a Tom Brady in the pile. And we got Ben Roethlisberger. And we'll put him in the insert pile and move along. There ain't a whole lot of guys in the league you'll hear me say negative things about, but we'll just skip Ben Roethlisberger for the time being. And we're into our last three cards, which are going to be rookies again. Jaquez Patrick out of Florida State. I'm not extremely familiar with him. Jeffrey Simmons out of Michigan State University. Let's not blow past Mr. Patrick here. We can take our time with these. What did he do last year? Ran the ball 100 times for 378 yards, 16 receptions, and nothing special for Mr. Patrick there. Jeffrey Simmons, big boy out of Mississippi State, 63 tackles, 17 of them for losses with 2 sacks and a forced fumble last year. That's a solid year. And then Mr. Quinnen Williams. That's a big time defensive tackle. 71 tackles last year, 19 and a half of them for a loss, 8 sacks. That guy is an absolute beast. I can't remember where he ended. Was it Oakland drafted him, maybe? No, they went with the kid from Clemson. All right, let's get another one here. So a couple Steeler inserts in that pack, James Conner and Ben Roethlisberger. Jonnu Smith, tight end. Melvin Gordon, excellent young player. Adam Vinatieri's been around for 30 or 40 years, at least. He may be 60 or 70. Olivier Vernon, Josh Gordon, and Adam Humphries. We got another parallel-looking card or gold card, whatever Score's calling them. David Johnson this time. Obviously an electric running back. Just short of 1,000 yards last year. It's a little banged up last year, only 258 attempts. And then more Steelers, because they know I just love the Steelers. All hands team Antonio Brown. That is a really good-looking card. Obviously, he's with Oakland now. We'll see what kind of chemistry he can develop with Derek Carr. So, yeah, we'll see if we can put together a whole starting team of Steeler inserts. Kyle Rudolph, young man at work I play Madden with, the big Vikings fan, he would like that card. It's the captain's card. We have another captain's card down in there somewhere. It was DeAndre Hopkins. And then our rookies, Miles Sanders, running back out of Penn State. 1,200 yards last year on 220 attempts, averaging 5.8 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. He also had 24 receptions for 139 yards. Yeah, catch the ball a little bit. That's obviously a very good skill set to have coming into the league right now. And C.J. Conrad out of Kentucky, running back. Or no, I'm sorry, receiver. 30 receptions last year, 318 yards. 80 for his career, just over 1,000 yards. And 12 touchdowns in his career. Can't say I'm familiar with him. We got our first Buckeye, Mike Weber. 172 attempts last year, gave him 954 yards, only 5 touchdowns, but he threw in 21 receptions and another touchdown there. So there we go. What are we in? 3-4 packs deep here. Not a whole lot of steam on the viewers here. Not a lot of people watching, but it is late here on the East Coast. I wanted to do one of these and see how it goes. Check the audio, check the video resolution and all that stuff. Make sure you guys can see the cards. Make sure I'm not a complete fool up here. Kick some of these packs on the floor out of the way. Tyreek Hill, obviously some major problems for him. Miles Jack, and then there's OBJ. That's him with the Giants. Obviously, he has gone to Cleveland, and a lot of scuttlebutt about that. Jamal Adams, outstanding young player up there in New York with the Jets. Jack Doyle, Andy Luck's favorite target. Traquan Smith and Bobby Wagner. Signal callers. This is another Matt Ryan insert. We had one just a little bit ago. Nice and shiny. And a little more information about him on the back. 6'4". Thought he might have been an inch or two shorter than that. Some more Vikings. Dalvin Cook, outstanding young player. Celebration insert. Hopefully he can overcome his injury issues and reach his potential, because it would be a lot of fun to see. I think he has an incredible future in front of him if he can stay healthy. DeAndre Baker, he was one of your first corners off the board this year in the draft. Out of Georgia, 40 tackles last year, 12 passes defended, and 2 interceptions. 7 interceptions in his college career. I anticipate he's going to be one of the kids in this draft that turn out to be pretty good value. Andy Isabella, wide receiver, out of nowhere. Not very familiar with this guy. Out of UMass. Had over 100 receptions last year. I should be familiar with him then, huh? 1,700 yards for 13 touchdowns. Had an outstanding college finish. Andy Isabella. It's a bit odd because it says wide receiver there. If I look at the rest of these rookies, and even the one behind them here real quick, Alex Barnes, running back out of Kansas State, you'll notice here it says wide receiver, whereas all these other ones, University of Georgia, University of Ohio State, Kentucky, it's the only one that has his position listed rather than his college. So that is kind of interesting. I'm going to set him aside and see if we see any more like that. We get 3 rookies per pack. It's the first one I've seen. Oh, pardon me. Stretch out a little bit here. Nothing too crazy yet. Autographs or memorabilia cards. Case Keenum, Lamar Jackson. Obviously the Ravens here. Obviously the Ravens got big plans for him. I could talk at length about whether or not it's going to work, but it's going to be interesting to see. Zach Martin, one of the best guards in the league, no doubt. Jordan Reed, outstanding tight end. Micah Hyde, he's got to stay healthy. Jordan Reed. DJ Moore, which I think he had some better luck with that last year. Into the pile with those. And we got a rookie card, Anthony Johnson. He's kind of out of place. The rookies had been put all in the back. 57 receptions for over 1,000 yards. It's a 17.7 average. And 11 touchdowns last year. So a very nice year for the University of Buffalo. This one is a rookie insert, apparently. You can notice that all our other rookies have white around the border. So we're going to put him with this other rookie that had the weird. And Michael Thomas, Epic's card. He is a ridiculously good player. Drew Brees' favorite target. And I like these Epics cards. We have a Drew Lock. This is a draft card here. You see the draft in the bottom. None of the other rookie cards have had that. He ended up going, in the second round to the Broncos. I liked him, and I thought they got good value on him. I thought he would not be there the second time around for them, but he was. So that's a little different than the other rookies. So 2 rookies in that pack that were a little different. Florida Atlantic, Devin Singletary. Ran the ball 261 times last year for 1,300 yards, 22 touchdowns. He's one of the better young running back prospects in the draft this year. And then we got Nick Bosa, your second overall pick. So that is a very nice rookie card to have. His brother has struggled with injuries since joining the San Diego Chargers. Let's hope he doesn't have any of that. His dad had some injury issues as well, so let's hope he breaks that streak for the Bosa family. Rodney Anderson, University of Oklahoma, another running back. Just 11 attempts last year. Oh, this might be the guy that was, he missed a large portion of the year. Don't know much about him. There were a couple guys that were hurt this year that didn't really participate, and teams are hoping they'll be able to contribute in the next year or two. I can't remember if he was one of those guys or not. So kind of underwhelming so far. We're getting halfway through, and we haven't found anything in particularly outstanding. Let me just say, let me take a drink of water here. I've been talking for 40 minutes, 30 minutes. All right. Well, let's hope we get our first autograph or memorabilia card. Jordy Nelson, Tajay Sharp, Wayne Gallman, TJ McDonald, Brandon Cooks, Dalvin Cook, the Cooks and Cook guys going together there. Trayvon Williams, scorecard, rookie out of Texas A&M, Travion Williams. Had a really good year last year, 1,700 yards for 18 touchdowns, 27 receptions. He had a very nice year for Texas A&M. We'll put that in the rookie insert pile. Signal callers, it's a Dak Prescott. Nice and shiny. And then another James Conner insert. Is that the same one? It is not. The other one was an Epics. Fantasy Stars, James Conner. And some more rookies. Hakeem Butler. I believe he's a corner. Oh, he's a receiver. 60 receptions for 1,300 yards, a 22-yard average. That is pretty darn good. And 9 touchdowns last year. For Iowa State. I used to live in the great state of Iowa. Shout out to them. Everyone hanging out in the Quad Cities. Northwestern University, Clayton Thorson. Fortunately, I don't know much about Mr. Thorson. Completed 61% of his passes for 3,200 yards almost. The touchdown interception ratio, 15 interceptions with 17 touchdowns. Not especially good. Don't know much about him otherwise. And Jacoby Myers out of NC State. Ran the ball 92 times last year for 1,000, or caught the ball, my goodness. If he could rush the ball 92 times to pick up 1,000 yards, that'd be pretty good. Receiving, my goodness, 92 receptions for over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. All right, well, 4 packs to go, and haven't seen anything crazy. 4 Blaster exclusive gold parallel, so I guess that's one of them there. Anthony Johnson. I don't think we skipped any. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe there's no autographs or gave you stuff to be had in this box. I didn't have great expectations for the score box. The other ones will be a little more interesting. Hopefully. Phillip Rivers, Chester Rogers, Saquon. That'll be a second-year Saquon Barkley card. If his career goes the way we think it might, that'll be a good one to have down the road. Stephen Gostkowski, Chris Herndon, the fourth, Chad Williams, Aaron Jones, and then an all-hands team, Adam Thielen. Steelers and Vikings have been kind of hot on the inserts here. Obviously, an outstanding receiver for the Vikings. And a good-looking card. I don't know what corner that is for the Saints, but he is just getting abused right there. Josh Allen, big-time defensive end out of Kentucky. He was your, he fell. Was it Buffalo? He fell down the board a little. I can't believe I can't remember the draft already. It's been less than a month. Josh Allen, that's one of the draft rookies. That's a very good pull there. If his career goes away, I think it will. Jalen Hurd, receiver out of Baylor. I think he went in the third round, maybe. Let's see what he did last year. Oh, he's running back. I'm sorry. 48 attempts for 200 yards. 69 receptions for 946 in the air, 4 touchdowns. So a third down back coming into the league. Jalen Hurd. Ryan Finley out of NC State. He was drafted by the Bengals, right? Maybe a successor to Andy Dalton. Completed 67.4% of his passes last year. 3,900 yards, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Ryan Finley. Yeah, good. Excellent. Jake Browning, University of Washington. I saw Tom Browning on the TV earlier. Any baseball fans from the 90s might remember Tom Browning. I don't know if there's any relation. This kid completed 65% of his passes for 3,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Jake Browning out of Washington. Yeah, Washington. I almost said Washington State. All right, so not a lot of viewers. That's a little disappointing. I would hope somebody tuned in on the West Coast out there, some football fans, but we'll see if it gets any views later on down the road. I think maybe the Prism and the Bowmans will bring some more people in. Those will be a lot of fun tomorrow. Steven Nelson. Jalen Ramsey, very exciting young player. Jalen Smith. Lorenzo Alexander. Peyton Barber. And Taylor Lewan. Here we go. What is this? Patrick Mahomes. Well, that is a... there we go, boys. That's a good one there. Home and away. Patrick Mahomes. Jersey card. You see it's quite thick. And there's your piece of jersey right there. That is a pretty card. There's the back of it. Let's get one last good look here. Home and away. All right. That is a good one. Patrick Mahomes, if you're paying attention right now, just setting the league on fire. It's going to be a real interesting storyline this year to see how he handles the team without those two big weapons around, Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt. We followed up with another Patrick Mahomes. This one's an insert, an Epics card. Another very pretty card. Anybody from Kansas City watches this video down the road, read them and weep, boys. I got a couple good Patrick Mahomes ones here, and you didn't. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. Love my guys in Kansas City. I've been there. I played music there with country music legend. I won't tell you. Maybe it'll be a little gross if I told you in my first video. But I used to play drums for a famous guy, and we played out there in Kansas City. It was a lot of fun. Von Miller, a captain card. Kind of standard as inserts go, but obviously a ridiculously good player. Possibly a Hall of Fame type player. Christian Wilkins, drafted by Miami out of Clemson University. Your 13th overall pick, if I remember correctly. He's a young man that ran out and jumped up in the air and almost killed Roger Goodell. When Goodell didn't get the memo that they were going for a flying fist bump. It doesn't look like some of these are really pulling into focus well. I don't know exactly where the sweet spot is. I do apologize for that. Yeah, Christian Wilkins, I think he's going to have a very good career for Miami. They certainly need help along that defensive line. And we got a Josh Allen insert before. We got another one here. This is a standard rookie. We talked a little bit about him already. Should be a very good player. Then Myles Gaskin, one of the top running back prospects this year. We'll take a quick look. 12 touchdowns on the ground, another one in the air. Rushed for 1,200 yards and caught 21 more balls. All right. What a pack. Very good. Very good. A couple young studs across the defensive line. And our Patrick Mahomes game used. That's how game used, or I don't know if I can tell if it'll be game used or just a memorabilia card. The enclosed player worn material is guaranteed. It's a player worn, not necessarily game worn, but either way, that is the best one of the night. And we got two packs left. Maybe we'll get lucky and get us something else cool. I'm struggling with this one a little bit. Son of a gun. I'm afraid to just go at it all crazy. I'd hate to rip it up, damage a card. Let's get started here. There we go. All right, Justin Houston. Keep going with Kansas City. Alshon Jeffrey, Tre'Davious White, Drew Brees, future Hall of Famer, Will Dissly, and Takarius McKinley, very good young player for that Falcon defensive line. And what do we got? An Anthony Miller celebration card. A young receiver there in Chicago. That's gold. I think that might be a gold parallel. What do they call it on the box here? For blaster gold pad might be because the other celebrations I think were all white. So and that looks like a gold parallel celebration card. Anthony Miller. And an Andy Luck signal caller card. That's a pretty card. Obviously an outstanding player. Hopefully he stays healthy the rest of his career. And the Huddle Up Pittsburgh Steelers card. Yeah. Jermaine Pratt, a highly touted rookie out of NC State. Had over 100 tackles last year, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. And Morgan Stanley Jr., if I remember correctly, he is a receiver. Out of Nebraska, 70 receptions for 1,000 yards last year, 7 touchdowns. And Kelvin Harmon, running back, out of NC State again. Another NC State guy. That's our third, maybe even fourth NC State rookie. And here's our last pack. Not likely to beat Patrick Mahomes' jersey card with this one, but you never know. You never know. You never know. T.Y. Hilton, Nick Chubb, very good prospect for the Brownies up there. Alec Ogletree, Frank Gore, 60 years old, still running the ball like a tank. Eli Manning, 80 years old, not throwing the ball like a tank. Marquise Goodwin, actually a good young player for them. I think he's going to be pretty good. Laquan Treadwell. We got a Ryan Kerrigan throwback here. I like the throwback cards. They're good looking cards. That's when he was playing for the Seminoles. Can't remember. Daniel Jones, another highly touted quarterback. He's gonna probably might be your Eli Manning successor. Giants taking him with the 6th overall pick in the draft, much to the chagrin of many Giant fans. A lot of outcry about maybe not being quite as happy with that pick as they would have been with some of the other players, I guess. But that's a good card. I think he's talented. I think much like Kristaps Porzingis, New York will eventually like the guy. I remember kids crying during the Porzingis pick. Ended up being a really good player. JJ Arcega Whiteside out of Stanford. Not familiar with this kid. Let's take a quick look at him here. 63 receptions for over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. So quite a productive year for him in Stanford last year. Then Hunter Renfrow out of Clemson. Just everybody from Clemson's getting drafted these days. 49 receptions for 544 yards and a touchdown. And there's Drew Lock again. All right, there we go. So if you look, here's our stack of rookies, just our regular old rookies. We got some very nice rookie inserts. Daniel Jones, Josh Allen, Travion Williams, Drew Lock, and gold parallel Anthony Johnson. And if you look, this is still the only rookie that has wide receiver instead of the college they went to. So that is interesting. I don't know if that's a mistake or what. Maybe it'll be more. Maybe it'll be worth looking into. So we got plenty of regulars, plenty of rookies, plenty of pretty good inserts. We got some throwbacks. The huddle up card, I guess, is essentially a team card, I think. The signal callers, we got some good ones. Captains, very nice. The epics in particular for this series, I like a lot. The all hands teams, we got one of Adam Thielen, we got one of Antonio Brown. Those are real good looking cards as well. But yeah, I do think it's the epics. The epics are the best inserts, in my opinion, in this set. And then we got our gold parallels. There's a couple of them. Myles Garrett, David Johnson. Yeah. And then we're going to take one last look at the big guy here. Keep these. And that is our Patrick Mahomes player worn jersey card. Let's pull into focus really good for us here. Well, I certainly appreciate you guys hanging out. I am the Preston 13. I would like to do a lot more of these, whether anybody watches or not, because I love myself some football. We're going to do some baseball stuff as well. Um, please feel free to comment. Let me know if you enjoyed our time together. If you're interested in the live streaming tomorrow, Saturday the 18th, we're going to do our Prism boxes and our Bowmans, and we're going to start with a 2018 Rookies and Stars, maybe get a Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley, something really good there. That'll be happening tomorrow. We just run short of an hour here. It gives you kind of an idea. I don't want to go too quick, and it would be a lot better if we had some guys in the chat, maybe talking about some players or stuff. So, not a bad start. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if anybody watches. Either way, we're going to do some more and have some fun with it. Again, I am the Preston 13, and I appreciate you hanging out. Remember, kids, Preston loves you.